Well, it's been a while since I made a video about the Second Amendment, but it looks like we're back to square one, or actually we probably never left square one. We've been stuck here because we still have a major problem with gun violence in this country. And anytime we try to have any sort of conversation about it, everyone starts getting so knee-jerk and so bent out of shape, thinking that their rights are going to be stripped away and they're not going to be allowed to defend themselves, that nothing can ever get accomplished and nothing can ever get done. I think we need to really be able to sit down and have reasonable discussions about this, because after all, folks, at the end of the day, if I can break this down as simple as possible, we are talking about an instrument that can take a human life in a matter of seconds, instantly, can unalive a human being. And someone with no skill whatsoever can get their hands on certain types of assault weapons, and with not much skill at all, can take human life in a matter of seconds. So the fact that we can't have a reasonable and rational discussion about that tells how far gone we are. But the other day I did a video where I read to you the First Amendment, so today we're going to read the Second Amendment. We're going to break it down a little bit here. The Second Amendment, it's only one sentence. It says, "A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." I think one of the biggest problems with that sentence, or with people's interpretation of that sentence, is that they get all hung up on the last part. The one thing you constantly hear coming from the right is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and they think any sort of background check, they think any sort of hoop they have to jump through is an infringement upon their rights. But I think we need to get back to the start of this sentence. It's what we need to be having the debate about, and that is, what is a well-regulated militia? Being necessary to the security of a free state. A well-regulated militia is not Bubba and Cletus up the holler going to come overthrow the government. That's not a well-regulated militia at all. We have a serious problem in this country. And for all you out there that wants to keep repeating these same stupid talking points like guns don't kill people, people kill people. Well, if people's the problem, people have easy access to guns, so they shouldn't have such easy access to guns. Now, I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe we have the right to bear arms. I believe we should have the right to defend and protect ourselves. But I also believe we can have stricter gun laws. I think we need better, stricter background checks. I think we need to bring back the assault weapons ban. And I think we need to really seriously take a look and invest in the mental health of this country. And for all the right-wingers who loves to talk about how, why are we sending our money to Ukraine? Why don't we use it here at home? You guys are going to have to bend somewhere, okay? And when we bring ideas to the table about here's how we can pay for this mental health care for people, you're going to have to bend a little, okay? We're not trying to infringe upon your rights. If you are mentally capable to carry a firearm, you should be allowed to, and you should be allowed to defend yourself. And now I'm about to say something that may really upset some of you on the left, but it's something you really need to think long and hard about. It's a wake-up call that I got years ago, and it's a cold, hard reality that I really hate to say it, but we're all going to have to face. All of us on the left needs to really educate ourselves on the Second Amendment. We need to really educate ourselves on firearms, and we need to learn how to protect ourselves. Because you have a front runner of a party constantly telling his flock that people like us are more dangerous to this country than Russia and China. You have a front runner of the party who is constantly demonizing us as the worst of human beings. And every time someone goes on a rampage and we go back and look at their history, who is it they've been listening to? Who is it they've been taking pointers from? They've been going to all these far-right conspiracy theory crowds. That's who they've been hanging around. And those people, the right-wing media of this country and the conspiracy theory media of this country, is constantly feeding these people these ideas that they are being erased from history, that their lifestyle is being, people are targeting them, and they're being persecuted, and their rights are being taken away. So, for those on the left that thinks we need to just get rid of all of them, we're past that point now. It can't be done. There's no way we can get rid of all of them. We can have some common sense gun laws. We can have stricter background checks. We can work on mental illness. But we've got a problem in this country with too many guns. And if you think just walking around unarmed with nothing and you think you're going to be okay, well, the other side is preparing for Armageddon, and they think we are the devil's children. So that's something that my dad told me years ago, and I really didn't believe him at first. But the more I see shit start to unfold, the more I start to realize the old man was right. So I hope that we can start having a healthy conversation about the Second Amendment. I hope we can start having a healthy conversation about the safety of our children, because at the end of the day, for all the people who constantly preaches about being pro-life and the sanctity of our children and protecting our children from drag queens, come off your bigotry just for a minute. Okay? Come off your damn bigotry for a minute, because for all of you that's upset over a child sitting in front of a drag queen, there's plenty of us that is upset over him sitting in front of a priest, okay? So we're always going to disagree on that. But what we should all agree on at the end of the day is we want our children to be safe, and we want our children to be able to get a good education without fear of losing their life while they're trying to sit there at school. So everybody on both sides of the aisle is going to have to come together. They're going to have to listen to everybody's ideas, and everybody's going to have to bend a little, and everybody's going to have to compromise a little. Otherwise, we're going to remain in this same state that we're in today, where it's just another day at the office. Every time we hear about it, I can't even remember them all. How many can you remember? You have the big standout ones, but they're happening every day. And for every one you hear about, there's 10 more that didn't even make the damn news. So we have to set our egos aside and start having reasonable conversations about this, or otherwise, in the words of George Carlin, we're just going to sit back and watch this country circle the damn drain.